वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. How are you, my friends? Thank you for joining us again, and thank you so much for all the positive you have been sending our way, and appreciating and supporting us in supporting you in supporting us. So it's a symbiotic relationship that changes and it replaces um, emptiness within our everyday life. We begin to develop um, positive attitudes, positive attitudes. So the the focus that we're having at the moment is to do with restoring our health, understanding health first. In order to restore health, we have to understand health. And then from restoring health is then exercising our sovereignty. So sovereignty is when you are in charge of yourself. You're able to make conscious choices. You're able to say, no, this doesn't feel right. I'm not going to do it. This conscious change, which gives you a sense of inner authority, this is what we're about. This is what it means to be sovereign. This is what it means to be egoless, right? So this isn't out of arrogance. This is out of our organic space, sovereignty. And sovereignty in the tradition of the Sikhs have demonstrated in many ways, right down, to this day. So it is an understanding that has been developed and exercised in every historical moment. But it's always been hidden. It's always been put aside because sovereignty challenges authority. And we have all been in a situation where we are now at home, isolated, socially isolated, isolated from our workplaces, all of those kind of things that go with isolation. And in that, which began with fear, which began with concern, is starting to now transform into a different energy. And this is a great moment for us because in this moment, you can actually do something about today. You can do something about what's happening. You can choose to close a particular timeline and you can choose to open yours. But this timeline that you open has to be a timeline in which your intent is clear. Your attitude is an attitude that encompasses more than just your self interest. So, today I want to talk about how to cultivate a inner health such that we are able to exercise this sovereignty. And so I spoke a couple of days ago about mental immunity. So we've all heard of physical immunity, but very few people will have heard of mental immunity or emotional immunity. And dare I say it's transpersonal immunity or spiritual immunity. Whether the biomedical model accepts it or not, existence is energy. And because it's energy, thoughts are energy. So are emotions. Emotions are a pulse. It's a pulse of energy, which combined with your perception creates a story within which you get engaged. So, in order to understand emotional immunity, we know how to build our physical immunity: good food, Tai Chi, Qigong, grounding yourself, making sure you do meditation. So, the meditation will lead you to mental immunity because it allows you to discern what you're putting through your senses within yourself. So you are not looking at graphic images, you're not looking at fear based, listening to fear based language because you are being influenced by that. Because you, me, everyone is an electrical harmony, a harmony that exists as love, a harmony that exists as everyone that's out there. Each one is a scalar wave. to give you an explanation of a sort. And therefore, we have frequencies, lots and lots of frequencies, all kind of in harmony with one another. Our organs are frequencies, our hair, everything is a frequency. And these frequencies get together and create what we know as our form. So all existence is, in fact, a vibration. And we emit this electrical and magnetic vibration because that's what energy is. It has at least those two components. It has energy, meaning electricity, meaning that it is moving from one part to another, and it has magnetism, that it affects things around it. So our energy creates emotions. So our emotions are a form of energy. So when an emotion arises, we interact with it, and very quickly that emotion takes over. So if you remember 4 weeks ago, the emotion was very much to do with fear. So what was it? The language was you're going to die. The language was that this is going to kill you. Everyone's going to die. Quick, quick, the sky is falling. Hide yourself, hide yourself. Plus all the imagery, plus all the content. The story plus the initial self preservation concern created this environment in which we were very easy to manipulate. Very quickly, come on, quickly go home, lock yourselves out, leave your jobs, do all of that. We didn't give a thought about our mortgages. We didn't give a thought about our cars or about our wealth. It was immediately retired. Why? Because life is very precious. And if I threaten your life with the end of life, meaning death, then obviously you will do what you need to do to preserve yourself. So, mental immunity is knowing what our emotions are telling us and then responding to that, not reacting to that. What happened a few weeks ago was a reaction. But look at how wonderful life is. And this is where we said right at the start, don't worry, you're looked after. You're really looked after. This entire unfolding, as hard as it is, and it will be for a little bit longer, is a moment of transformation in which you've discovered things about yourself. You've had time for yourself. How valuable was that? We work so hard in our life so we can have time for ourselves, so we can retire. Look at this, out of nowhere. Not where you just given a life, but you were given the opportunity to know yourself. So our attitude changes to this virus. Rather than fear, we replace the fear with gratitude. Had you not come, had you not created that panic, I would have been lost. I would have still been in that dream of my ego, dreaming of a life that one day I will have. Well, you have the opportunity, my friends. We all have an opportunity. And now the time has come to combine our conscious states in one moment. And in doing that, we don't have to do anything. We simply need to become present in a particular way, in a particular time. And in doing that, we change all the frequencies around us because we are electromagnetic beings. So as we change, our mental state changes, our emotional state changes. There is an experience of peace, stillness, silence, whatever you want to experience that is there, you will experience. And most common things are peace, tranquility, silence, etc. So when we get there, we create a moment of change, a conscious moment of change. And that change will happen organically. We have to understand health from a perspective of not just us, but how we interact with everything else. What responsibility we have for our community, what responsibility we have for our nature, what responsibility we have for ourselves. So, this opportunity, this pandemic, panicdemic, scamdemic, hoaxdemic, whatever you want to call it, had an impact, but that impact turned out to be something actually quite positive. So we change our attitude, we change our perception. This change in our attitude and the perception changes our emotional state. So now we want to get to what does it mean to be emotionally immune? Well, let's first understand what does it mean to be emotionally healthy and what does it mean to be emotionally ill? We all know about what it means to be emotionally ill. About depression, we know about sadness, alone, feeling isolated, the dark night of the soul, purposeless, low self esteem, low self compassion, self criticism, isolation, anger, consumed with self loathing, and a poor self image. All of that leading to a basic feeling that is akin to depression, meaning it has a number of symptoms that are associated that we will call depression. And it makes you feel that life should be different. There is a need to change something. And if we remain in that space, one of two places. Either we become addicts on SSRIs, antidepressants, and we feel that someone else is going to come and fix our depression. I mean, how absurd is that? That someone else is going to come and take away how I feel. No, you are responsible for how you feel. Once you understand how these different emotional states occur, how you when once you understand how the mind plays a particular story which threatens your ego, which then manifests as an emotion, you realize that actually the symptoms of depression begin with being trapped or feeling of being trapped, self-preservation, but also self-threat. So anyway, we will cover depression in some other conversation. So emotional illness are, in effect, that which forces an individual to feel as though there is no joy in life. There is no joy, enjoyment, to be one and to get joy out of that. So when we lose joy, we are moving towards emotional illness. And there is so much joy to be discovered. Joy is what? Joy is a pulse. Okay, let me explain this like this. Imagine you saw a picture of a child that was crying for food. Immediately, you feel some discomfort, and the story of the child crying, distressed, makes you want to do something. So it emerges as compassion. If I take the image away and the stimulus, then we return back to normal. So you can see how emotions are created. So let me give you another example. Um, you see a scene of domestic violence, or you remember a memory of that. Immediately upon that, you begin to feel discomfort. And that discomfort plus the stories, feelings, there are only really three feelings. There is a feeling of suffering, discomfort, unpleasantness. There is a feeling of absence of that. Right now, you are absent of pain, absent of suffering. Soak, this is soak. When we're experiencing suffering, and suffering is the difference between what life is now and what you want it to be, um, the bigger the difference, the more you're suffering. So if we begin by accepting things are exactly the way they need to be, we can start creating an environment in which we can cultivate emotional health. Emotional health is also accompanied by emotional intelligence. So, emotional intelligence is knowing the nature of your emotions, knowing how emotions are created, understanding the language of emotions. Your emotions are always telling you something, not about you, but about the environment you're in and your perception of that environment. That may be at fault. However, the emotion that you feel is in fact nothing more than a feedback. So, emotional intelligence is learning first how emotions are created. Then it's understanding what those emotions are telling you. So if you feel threatened, if you feel fearful, if you feel that don't want to be in that situation, then that emotion is telling you to do something. If you feel at peace, if you feel a bit more tranquil, if you feel calm, that's the emotion you want to cultivate. You want to cultivate those emotions, and you want to reduce the emotions that make you feel guilty or threatened or fearful. Why? Because those feelings change your physical immunity. So we go back to immunity. Once we have mental immunity and mental health, emotional immunity, emotional health, and the physical immunity and physical health, we restore it through heart coherence, we restore it through Tai Chi, through the foods. Once we do that, then spiritual immunity and spiritual health emerges by itself. This is where we become harmonized between the source and you. And when I speak about the source, I'm not talking about something out there. I'm talking about your absolute innate center. And you can touch that. You can know that because you are that. So, emotional intelligence allows us also to understand that our emotions don't just impact us, but they actually impact other people as well. In other words, emotions are contagious. Emotions are contagious. And it is important for us to build our immunity. So, how do you build immunity? Well, there's a few things we can do. The first thing is give up criticizing, gossiping about others, because this creates self conceit. It creates a sense of arrogance, and it creates a sense of better. It strengthens this false sense of self. This false sense of self is the crux of where your emotions come from. So if it's strong, it's like kind of rigid in its belief system. No, no, this is the way it has to be. This is the way it is. Then obviously it will defend itself. It'll get angry. It'll become fearful. It'll become threatened. Develop an open space. Try and exercise non-judgment. Non-judgment. So try and exercise. Sometimes we judge simply for the sake of judging. And notice if that judgment is to make you feel better. Is it something that feeds your ego? So you see someone wearing something, and your judgment is, God, look what he or she is wearing. And it's a kind of a criticism which is veiled behind your judgment. And we are so poor at recognizing that we judge the trivial, but we don't question the things that matter. Governments, pharmaceutical scam, the nature of antidepressants and the impact it has on others, the absurdity of the definition of mental health. We don't question things which then allow others to take control of your health and well being. I'm not saying don't believe it, I'm saying question it and do your own research. Clarity of mind. So, judgment, notice how often you judge. That's your practice between now and next time we meet. Just notice tomorrow or the moment you finish this, how you judge this, how you judge your food, how you judge the TV program, whatever you're doing, gardening, whatever you're doing, judgment, right? Secondly, start to look at things that you do well, things like things that give you a sense of pleasure, things that give you a sense of self mastery. And it could be something simple. It could be cleaning the gutters. It could be ironing your clothes. But something that gives you self mastery. You know what? I'm good at ironing my t-shirt. And it's important to realize that as we begin to do those things that give us a sense of joy, pleasure, mastery, you know what? Our emotional state begins to change. Life becomes viable, valuable. Life becomes wanting to live, not wanting to survive. It is not survival, it's living. Why do I need to survive? The very idea I need to survive means I'm under threat. The only people I'm under threat from are those people who are trying to control my behavior. So important to realize that emotions are a pulse, and also that because we have a electromagnetic field, these pulses go through our heart center and create the emotional space. And we can influence that big. That's why emotions are contagious. So I will give you an example. When you have been in a situation where, walked into a scenario where someone's had an argument, someone's had a discussion, a heated discussion, 9 times out of 10 you can pick it up. What allows you to pick that up is this electromagnetic frequency. So when we into something that you can take responsibility for, because only you can ensure that you regain and retain, restore, and strengthen your health as best as you can. We will share with you whatever we have to share and whatever we have in our own life. We will not share things that we don't do ourselves. So it is what we do, and we have found it of value, and we would like to share that. What you make of it is entirely up to you. So change your attitude, change your perception. So change your attitude to what has happened and what is happening. Give it gratitude. Be grateful for the fact that you have time to be by yourself and even time to be bored. I mean, how great is that? But time to know yourself, what bores you, what you do when you get bored. What do you do as a routine? So it's important to have a routine, important to have a disciplined practice. Okay? Intelligence and discipline. Intelligence, I will speak to you about at the next session, which is the ability to discriminate in order to build our emotional immunity. So, strengthening our emotional intelligence is required. So, change your attitude, change your perception, because your attitude is the foundation of what manifests for you in life. Your attitude is the seedling, energized with your intent and your perception, which will then allow the quantum container to begin to create the possibility of your reality. So we can go into the science of this. However, it's enough to know that if your attitude is an attitude of openness and joyfulness, that you have real in your life because you've involved activities in order to evolve yourself. Involve to evolve. Okay? So the medicine now is attitude. The medicine now is thankfulness. Thank God we are in this place. Isn't it amazing that you have the possibility of time? The only thing that you have in this life is this moment. And you can choose to invest it wherever you want to invest. And end of the day, when you are breathing your last breath, and we all will, which side did you stand upon? Where did you stand? Because history is judging us and will judge us. When the moment came to transform existence, to go with the harmony, to create a more balanced space for yourself and for the world, where did you stand? What role did you play? Did you allow others to create it so you can join? Or were you a participant? So, this is now a moment of walking the walk. Yeah, it's all okay talking about spirituality and mindfulness and awakening and all that kind of stuff. But time has come for us to walk the walk. And the walking the walk begins with first knowing yourself. And the only way you'll know yourself is through meditation. And by knowing ourselves, by going within ourselves, we will realize that there is very little difference between what you call yourself and existence, God, whatever you want to call it. So, time to build our mental and emotional immunity. Emotional immunity is built very simply by doing those things that bring joy, pleasure, mastery in your life. But there are two meditations that can really help with emotional immunity and emotional health. One is the heart coherence meditation that we do every so often, and we will probably do that next time we meet. And the other meditation is the self compassion, a powerful meditation, but a meditation that allows us to invoke self compassion. Because we're all very good at being compassionate to the world, but very rarely do we exercise compassion for ourselves. The time has come for us to have compassion for ourselves. And how do we cultivate that compassion? Well, we're going to go through a short meditation. So if you can take your posture, make sure just shake your shoulders a little bit, loosen up, stretch your neck, and make sure you're in a comfortable posture. When you're ready, you close your eyes and you close your mouth. Bring your focus to yourself. And your intention at this stage is simply to know what's going on with my body. And as you bring your focus to yourself, first notice your posture. Notice that your back is straight and upright. Notice that your shoulders are relaxed and not hunched. That from your shoulders all the way down to your hands, your arms are comfortable and your hands are comfortable. Notice that your eyes are closed. Notice that your mouth is shut. And as you breathe in, see if you can notice anything dominant in your body, like a pain, an ache, a tightness, an itch. And all you need to do is just locate it. Locate its position. No need to judge it. No need to have a story about it or commentary. Just notice what's going on in your body, any dominant sensations. And it could be the sensations of you just simply sitting down and making contact with the chair or the floor. Bring your focus to where you're sitting and notice that there are sensations in your body where you make contact with the chair or the floor. Bring your focus to those sensations. Notice their size. Shape, if it has one. How they extend. Allow your knees to relax or your thighs to relax. And now bring this focus from your sensations upwards to your hips. From your hips, move down to your thighs. From your knees, move down to your ankles. From your ankles, move down to your feet. And then finally, the soles of your feet. Bring your focus back to the chair. Notice how the air or the floor holds you in place. Notice how you're actually held in this moment. That you can't be anywhere else. And wherever you are located, that's where you are. You can't be in two places. There is only one of you. in this moment, space that you're in. Being here and now connects you with everything else that exists here and now. The air around you, the earth that holds you in place, the solar system within which the earth revolves, the galaxy within which there is this solar system, and this infinite universe that exists right now that you're embedded in. And this moment connects you with all the moments you've ever been before. And this moment now connects you with all the moments that ever will be from now. You can't move a single forward. It is existence that moves you forward, moment by moment. Allow yourself to be one with this moment, here and now. Move your focus to your lower back, middle back, upper back. Move your focus down your arms, from your shoulders to your elbows, elbows to your wrists, palms of your hands, fingers. Move your focus to the back of your neck. If you pull your chin in slightly, notice the back of the neck stretching. Bring your focus to your eyes. Notice the darkness. Allow your eyes and this part of the body to soften and relax. Notice that awareness of darkness. You can also bring that awareness to your head. In other words, you can become aware of the back, to your mouth. Notice your tongue, rigid or soft. Allow it to soften. Scan the surface of your mouth, your tongue. Notice the sensations on the roof of your mouth, inside your mouth. Relax. Soften your face. And as you breathe in, bringing your focus to your body, notice how you feel. Bring your focus. Are you in sukh or are you in this moment now? Just tranquility. Next, on your next breath out, just open your awareness and begin to listen to the sounds that are around you. And follow the sound of this bell as far as you can. When you're ready, bring your focus just beneath your nose. Begin to watch your breath as it moves in and as it moves out. Your breath, stay with your breath, stay with your breath. Follow your out breath all the way to the when it finishes. Breath begins. Allow it to breathe by itself, allowing every out breath to move you deeper and deeper into this moment. Stay with your breath. How are you feeling right now? Notice that in this moment there is no fear, there is no anger. The moment is in fact continuous, not in fact moment by moment. It is just continuous, infinite. When you're ready, I'd like you to gently bring your palm of your hand to your chest. Left hand goes first for men, right hand goes first for women. And bring your focus where you can feel the palms of your hands against the chest. Imagine that you're breathing in right through your chest. This meditation works on three elements: words, images, and feelings. Notice how you're feeling right now. And when you're ready, I'd like you to bring someone you truly love. Bring them to your memory, bring them to your mind. Imagine a time when you were you feel. Now imagine this person that's in your as a child, maybe 2 or 3 years old. And when this child was born, and at that time, had no idea what life was going to bring him, who this child was going to become, who they were going to find in life. But one thing we do know about this, as this child, like everyone else, will experience both pain and pleasure. And this child will experience both health, and this child, and one day, this child will also experience life and death. Now is your moment to give some gratitude and compassion towards this person you love. So I'd like you to gently repeat these words. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. May you be safe. Taking time. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. For peace, for health, and safety. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be to your chest again. Now I'd like you to imagine there are two children in your mind's eye. The first one that you loved so much, and the second one. And this second one is you. And you, like everyone else, had no idea what life was going to bring to you. No idea the pain and the happiness you were going to experience. No idea about the illness and health you were going to experience. And no idea that youth becomes age. And no idea that life ends with death. So imagine these two children in your mind's eye and begin to say these words to yourself and deliberately. May you and I be healthy. May you and I be peaceful. May you and I be safe. May you and I be happy. May you and I be healthy. May you and I be peaceful. May you and I be safe. Once more. May you and I be happy. May you and I be healthy. May you and I be peaceful. May you and I be safe. Notice how you feel. And now imagine there's only one child there. And this child is you. This is your opportunity to give yourself some compassion. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May I be safe. Savor the emotion. Savor this moment. And now imagine a whole bunch of little children in your mind's eye. This is everyone on this planet who feels fearful, who's concerned about their health, who are feeling sad, isolated, and who don't know what tomorrow will bring, feeling insecure. So in this mind's eye, with all the people that you know and you don't know, this is your opportunity to provide them with compassion. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be peaceful. May we all be safe. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be peaceful. May we all be safe. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be peaceful. May we all be safe. I'd like the vibration of this bell. In a few moments, you will hear the sound of another bell. Use this bell to come back to your breath. Draw a few deep breaths in, and in your own good time, opening your eyes, bringing some of that warmth and wellness back with you. When you're ready, opening your eyes. Thank you very much for joining and participating. Meditation has the power to change everything. Now the time has come for us to become one. Together we are one. And in that we build our trust and we build our harmony with each other. Now is the time to look after yourself. So please have a routine, do some meditation. Join us when you can. And thank you very much for being part of us today. Join us again on Sunday. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki